points I'd like to make very briefly. The first is the irony of Kanhaiya Kumar talking about logic. This is the same guy who blamed the 9/11 terror attacks on the United States government and said the US government conducted the 9/11 attacks, and who blamed our security forces and armed forces for sexual assaults on women in Kashmir. Then, of course, he joined Congress, और सारे पाप धुल गए. But I have to say this, if Narendra Modi were to take 1 rupee for every time he was insulted and abused with cuss words and whatnot, he'd be a billionaire by now. In fact, he will be sponsoring a lot of Congress's yatras if BJP hasn't already sponsored the Bharat Jodo Yatra, which I'm sure it has, because the more Rahul Gandhi walks across India, the more it is good for the BJP. But the other point I'd like to make is, it is not that the gali galoch thing continues in politics. We've gotten so used to it. The fact of the matter is that if I can, talk about my good friend here, I will not, let me name him Tehseen. I will not talk of Tehseen except to say that his surname is Poonawala. I will not talk about Tehseen at all except to say that he is a very fit young man. I will not talk about Tehseen at all except to say that he supports the Congress and he's a lawyer. So likewise, Tehseen says, I will not talk about whataboutery except to say that Modi has also abused. You see, this is the problem we have in political discourse. For the last 2 weeks, every time the opposition talked about the grisly assault in Manipur, and they were corrected by saying, why the hell were they silent when similar attacks and state inaction happened in other states? Notably AAP-ruled and Congress-ruled states of Punjab and Rajasthan. Same Tehseen was accusing others of whataboutery. Today, when somebody has abused Modi, Tehseen knew that we are going to mention the fact that he is going to talk about what about Modi abusing. So he qualifies in the beginning itself saying, I am not going to talk about whataboutery except the fact that Modi also said this, Modi also said this. Tehseen, you also indulged in whataboutery. Let's be very plain about it. Otherwise, you wouldn't have mentioned all those 3 or 4 instances where you said Modi also hurled abuses. That also is whataboutery. So the fact of the matter is, Swati, everyone is doing it. The question is, what do we do about it? Can we solve it? And shall I give you the answer? By the same illogic, correcting the illogic. And again, I don't know, I hate to correct my good friend Tehseen, but I'm forced to correct it second time round tonight. When he talked about the Prime Minister drawing an equivalence between PFI and Hizbul Mujahideen Congress, of course he didn't. The blame lies squarely on the Congress because they had this acronym I.N.D.I.A, and all their tweets were without those full stops or dots. They were talking about as if it is India. India jeetega, Modi harega, it's India. So what Prime Minister said ki India to PFI mein bhi hai. What matters is not acronyms but your actions. How is he equating PFI or Indian Mujahideen with Congress? He's not. He's just telling you. He's showing you the mirror that stop calling yourself as India. You are an acronym. That is what he was doing. So Tehseen, you are tonight wrong on 2 counts. It's an off day for you, my friend.
Okay. Rebuttal from Tehseen Poonawala.
I feel terribly bad when on an off day of mine, I'm still better off than on the best day of my friend Dr. Anand Ranganathan, who by the way is a scientist, and therefore as a scientist I thought logic should be your core strength. But unfortunately it seems WhatsApp University and whataboutery has become your core strength. I never said except Modi ji said that. I said I'm not going to indulge in what Modi ji said because I think while what Modi ji said, hold on, I never interrupted you. Now give me the courtesy. Apart from being wrong today, you cannot be interrupting me. You can't have 2 wrongs today. So now let's get on to it. 2 wrongs don't make a right. What I'm saying is the standard of politics in India has fallen. Period. You and I are on the same page of it. But Anand, my scientist friend, if you compare somebody who Sanju Verma calls a wannabe politician who lost by 2 lakh votes to the most honorable Prime Minister, you, my friend, are bereft of logic. You, my friend, do not have logic. I am saying morality stems down from the top. I am saying it is wrong when people are dying of oxygen to go to West Bengal and say Didi o Didi. But having said it, there is no political benefit of attacking the Prime Minister apart from
why doesn't the Congress party get it? So why doesn't the Congress party get it?
But my friend, you choose not to listen to me. You choose not to listen to your good-looking smart friend. You choose only to indulge in whataboutery, which I don't expect from a scientist.
Okay, quick rebuttal.
You were in a monologue for that for so long. Now you've even lost.
Okay, quick rebuttal. I have to go to Ravi Srivastava also. Ravi Srivastava is also waiting for his turn. Dr. Ranganathan, quickly.
Yes, sorry Raviji, I won't take more than 10 seconds. No, just to say, Swati, if you could please, if you have the time, replay how Tehseen started. He said, I will not talk about whataboutery, but he mentioned 5 instances where Modi used abuses.
Yes.
What else is that? That is whataboutery.
That's not whataboutery.
Why did
that thing you shouldn't talk about it.
Oh, and you talk about it. So
because you shouldn't talk about it.
Okay, let's bring in Ravi Srivastava also. Let's bring in Ravi Srivastava.